In this video we're going to be looking at transport lanes and what transport lanes are. Transport lanes, these define the conditional rules to allocate consignments to delivery runs. Now if I was in the dashboard here and I went into the search for anything and I was to type in lane, I would get my transport lanes. So here you'll be able to see that we've got all of the existing transport lanes already in the system. And we can come into a really basic one where we have ACT collect, and it is from the pickup zone of ACT going to any other zone at all. And we've got the condition in as a consignment type is equal to a pickup, then put it on the ACT delivery run. So if we were to go back and actually show you one which was a little bit different than that, what we could do is we could come in to have a look at one which is, say, the Melbourne to Adelaide. So in here, we've actually got some different conditions. And it's important to know whereabouts in the hierarchy these conditions sit. So this one here, I've got Melbourne to Adelaide. I've got my effective date in here. I'm going from the zone of Melbourne through to the zone of Adelaide. And you can see here that the first condition it hits is if the service type is equal to general and the spaces are less than 8 spaces, then put it on the Adelaide to Melbourne LCL delivery run. Then I've got another condition underneath which says same thing about the service type, and it just says if it's greater than 8 spaces, put it on the Melbourne to Adelaide line haul delivery run. And then down the bottom you can see here that what I've said is that if it doesn't fall in any of these two categories, then always map it to Adelaide parcels. And in this one, it could be that I've got general freight and it all goes through to my LCL or my line haul. And then I could have parcel freight, which this tenant is set up to do. And so if it doesn't meet any of these conditions, you always put it on parcel freight. Now what we've got to be careful of is that always stay down the bottom of this list, because it will go through each condition as it goes along. So it will hit this first condition and it will just always put it on Adelaide parcels. So we need to make sure that as it goes through, it will go through the hierarchy and work out which conditions it actually wants to go on. So if I went back and had a look at something there which was a little bit different again, it could be that I have Adelaide local. So I've got Adelaide local here and I've got my effective date, and I'm saying that if it's from the Metro Adelaide zone going through to Adelaide North, then always put it on the Adelaide local North delivery run. Now what I can do here is if I click on Adelaide North, you can see underneath Adelaide North, I've actually got, you can see that it's a parent and a child zone. So you can see that Adelaide North is part of Metro Adelaide, and you can see that the Adelaide Hills is the same and Adelaide South is the same. So this one down here, this Metro Adelaide zone, that covers all three of them. But because I want to do a specific breakdown of that actual zone of Adelaide North, South and Hills, then I wouldn't use my Metro Adelaide. I would actually break it down for each individual one. So as always, if you need any more information, please send us an email through to support@cartoncloud.com.au.